Wait, this is near the chasm, right?
Yes. If we enter from here, we'll be able to reach that place from your dream. You have some experience with abyssal domains by now, but still, this is someone else's territory. Best to proceed with caution.
Don't worry, Paimon's an expert at hiding behind other people for safety. Oh, but, that means you need to stay safe, Traveler.
All right. Remember your training. Time to put it to use.
Behind you. Come on, you got this!
Hey, what are you two doing here? Dusty, like an abandoned house. Let's press on. Merciless. Fearless.
Oh, looks like this is a dead end. Did we make it to his hiding place? Ugh, this fog is making it impossible to see anything!
This should be the place where you were attacked, Traveler. The missing part of your soul should be nearby. Can you sense where it is? Our opponent must have covered his tracks just in case. Otherwise, you should have sensed it much more strongly.
Hold on! Look! The spikes are back!
Stay calm. Let's hold back a little. Give our enemy some wiggle room so we can see what we're dealing with. If you're too reckless, we might be playing right into his hands. Our enemy took part of your soul for a reason. It's likely he integrated it into his attack somehow. If we're smart about this, we can track it down. Merciless. From the start, the attacks have been focused on me. Trying to break through my defenses? I see. There. I got it back.
Traveler! Skirk! What happened? It looked like Skirk just got...
In the Guili Plains, you asked me why this enemy chose you as his target. Now, the answer is clear. It's not just the fact that your strength is impressive. It's also because of your ability to, as you put it, purify abyssal power. Whatever that actually means. The fact is, that ability allowed him to do something that should have been completely impossible. Namely, break through my defenses and steal my power. No, he couldn't have known I'd come to his domain. He only stole your soul fragment because he knew the value of its power. I doubt he expected it to come in handy so soon. Call it fate, if you want. I believe that's the term they use in this world for arbitrary coincidences like this. In any case, it works to our advantage. Once I realized what he was using that power for, it gave me the chance to get back what you lost. I'll cope. Well, done gorging? Good. Time to answer some questions. How did you get the power of the all-devouring narwhal?
The all-devouring narwhal? Oh, of course! Paimon knew that spike thing looked familiar. It looks just like that narwhal's horn!
I highly doubt you acquired that power through your own strength. Tell me I'm wrong. You're desperate enough to scour the land for god remains and whatever vestiges of power you can find. That alone proves you wouldn't be able to defeat a creature like that. Which leaves one possibility. You know my master, the Foul, Sertologi.
The Foul? Who dares call him foul?
What's wrong? Bit off more power than you can chew? You're struggling to hold a basic conversation.
Just a little longer. I'm still...
It's back!
Those obsessed with power will let it devour them before abandoning their pursuit. Keep calm and use reason to decide the best course of action. Wise decision. Final victory doesn't always come after a single battle. You've got your soul fragment back, so we both got what we came for. Let the enemy draw breath while he can. It won't be for long. Get us out of here, Traveler. You'll need to lead the way this time.
Skirk, is your shoulder gonna be okay?
The wound is minor. It'll heal in no time. You should focus on getting out of here alive instead.
Uh-oh! Falling spikes! Run! Watch out! Looks like this place is about to collapse! has something to do with the all-devouring narwhal. Did you know that all along, Skirk?
I had my suspicions. That's why I decided to investigate in the first place. But suspicions only get you so far. I needed to verify it for myself.
Phew. Oh, we should be safe here, right?
I no longer sense his presence. Can't have followed us out of that abyssal domain. Weaklings like him will find that my power is not so easily controlled. He won't be leaving that place until he's managed to digest it. You seem surprised. I suppose that's fair. You've seen but a fraction of what that whale is capable of. That gaping maw could swallow a planet whole. It's called the all-devouring narwhal for a reason. Devouring is what it does best. It can extract power from anything, dead or alive, as long as it manages to make physical contact.
Yeah. When we had our run-in with that thing, Neuvillette mentioned that it has an instinct to devour.
Your dragon friend recognized the nature of its abilities and used the power of Hydro to protect you. That worked because it was in a satiated state, so it was somewhat less aggressive than usual. It's a different story when it has no more power to feed off of. That's when its true voracious nature kicks in. It could devour everything on the planet in that state, which is why I cast it into that void space. But I hadn't counted on there being anyone left on this planet capable of wielding its power. To me, that says he must have encountered the whale a long time ago. Meaning, he must have known my master. Exactly. It told me everything I needed to know. Hence why I said we both got what we came for. And I believe that brings our transaction to an end. Now that you're whole again, you can get back to your own journey. I'll handle the rest of this situation myself.
No way! We can't leave now! Something was stolen from you because of us! We have to help you get it back!
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power. When you fall, you get back up again and become stronger. That's how it is.
But what if that monster finds you before you're all better? Plus, how are you gonna get home? It's not like you can just go swoosh and open a door to the abyss again. Not without your full strength. So, sticking with us for the time being doesn't sound so bad, does it?
Fair enough. Then take this.
What is it?
A bag of Mora. Nothing in this world is free. I know that much. I'll leave the planning to you. Hurry up and decide where to go. We shouldn't linger.
We should take Skirk somewhere she can rest. But where?
He'll know something about Master. I'm sure of it. Next time, I need to be ready. Fine. It was just a scratch. It'll take time to recover my strength, of course. But adapting to situations like this is nothing new for me. Oh, this. It's a star crystal suit. Abyssal energy is scarce in Tevat. Wearing this helps me access it more freely. It stores concentrated abyssal energy that I can draw from on the go. When the energy runs out, it reverts back to its original form. Found somewhere to rest. Well, lead the way then.
This bag from Skirk has a ton of Mora in it. Does she have a job or something? Wait, no. After what we saw at Wamin Restaurant, that seems impossible. Can you imagine? It would go something like... I'll be collecting my paycheck now, boss. Oh, sure thing. Wait, who are you? Have we met? Huh, can't hold a job if you make everyone forget about you. So, what did you do to get all this Mora?
Claimed some buried treasure, took care of a few monsters that were causing trouble. Nothing untoward. It's safe to use.
Ah! You heard all that?
A sonorous voice like yours is hard to miss. I wouldn't be surprised if the sound of it traveled to the nearest mountaintop.
Then, did you by chance happen to hear Paimon's little, joke earlier?
You mean when you called me Frosty the Lavender Melon?
No, sorry. Paimon totally misspoke just now. She didn't say that at all. It was, a Paimon lookalike. Yeah, she's a piece of work, that one. Always impersonating Paimon and giving people weird nicknames. Okay, fine. The truth is, Paimon didn't like you all that much at the start, but things are different now. You helped the Traveler in a big way, so what do you say? Friends?
I noticed there was only one bed. Go ahead and get some rest.
Wait, what about you?
I don't get tired, and I don't need rest. I'm going to practice my sword work. That should help me regain some strength.
But your shoulder... Hey, don't just leave! Ah, whatever. Let her tire herself out. She'll come back eventually. Let's get some sleep, Traveler. That comfy bed is calling, Paimon.
Quiet.
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to rot on the scorched earth? Yet you alone live on.
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade. You don't deserve to rest.
Run, Skirk. Run! Only death awaits us here. Keep running, and don't ever look back.
Getting an early night's sleep is the best. That bed was so comfy. Wait, Skirk? Have you been sitting out here the whole night? The bed's all yours if you want it.
About 60%, maybe 70.
Whoa! Paimon thought it would take at least a couple of days. That was fast.
No, not fast enough. That's 20% less than last time. Same training regimen, same intensity. Nothing felt different, but somehow the outcome fell short. No, I think the problem's with me. I need to meditate for the next 2 days. Deep introspection should help me find the issue.
Ooh, sounds intense. We'll watch over you in the meantime, then.
Thanks. See you in 2 days.
Morning! Skirk is still meditating, huh? It's been 2 days already. Shouldn't she be awake by now? Paimon can't think of anything we can do to help. Oh, wait! Breakfast! That's it! Paimon will go get breakfast! Skirk is gonna be starving when she wakes up. Be right back.
That's right. This is Skirk's inner world. Think of it as the threshold between the soul and dreams. This isn't your first time here, but what you remember is probably a space covered in darkness. I only managed to illuminate a small portion for you back then. Actually, it's my first time talking to someone like this. I only managed to break free and bring you here because the injury weakened her power. I guess that's why I can speak again, too. Call it fate, if you want. I think that's the word they use in this world for lucky coincidences like this, right? Now, before I take you to her, I gotta ask. You're the first outside visitor to ever come here, so what's your impression of this place? Oh, you noticed. This river represents Skirk's strength. Strength accumulates over time. It is the summation of a person's lived experience. So this river is where all the fragments of Skirk's life should converge into a single stream of memories and emotions, flowing forward as one. But as you can see, this river has been severed numerous times. It's because Skirk doesn't like who she was in the past. When all she sees reflected in the river is a disgraceful shadow of who she was, she cuts through water and rock with the sword of reason, severs her connection with the past, and begins anew.
You must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion. Crush the self that makes you weak, and become master over your physical form.
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power. When you fall, you get back up again and become stronger. That's how it is.
The answer to one mystery invites another question, I see. Let's follow the river upstream. There among the cliffs, among the memories etched into her heart, lies the truth of it all. Soon, you'll understand everything. I've always thought that, even when falling leaves don't come from the same tree, they can still form bonds of kinship when they meet. Like meteors, you both made a journey through the stars. Both travelers who have landed on a planet that is not your home. Yet, when she first noticed your presence, although she hesitated for a moment, she still chose to walk away, indifferent as ever. Seems like you've answered your own question. Skirk sees herself as a trespasser in this world. She's made a conscious choice to avoid altering its path. But the reason for that decision stems from events much earlier on in her life. Let's keep going. It's still a long way to the source of the river.
You now have what it takes to wield immense power. From this day forth, I shall teach you no more. No one can become a worthy warrior through imitation alone. I have given you fangs and claws. Now, you must learn to hunt.
You wish me to travel the world beyond on my own, Master?
Indeed. Make new friends. Embark on your own journey. And piece together a new future from the shattered remnants of your past. We will still have contact through the abyss. But know this. One day, I will take the life you worked so hard to rebuild and reduce it to ashes. Just like the fire that haunts your mind.
Why do you do that?
I have told you before, fear is the catalyst for human evolution. You have tasted loss. You have known fear so deep it can be felt in the bones. But as living beings, we all have an instinct to detach from that which harms us. And thus pain dampens over time, and the acrid taste of fear becomes but a distant memory. Yet now, I have bestowed upon you the gift of fear eternal. It will drown you in the nightmare of your childhood, or it shall drive you to defeat me, whatever the cost.
That is what Skirk's master, the foul, Surtologi, looked like at one point in time. Of course, as a higher being, physical form is a triviality to him. He could appear as a beast, a human, or even a monster that defies description. The form you see him in here, clad in abyssal armor, is the one he usually wears when traveling through the stars.
For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand the source of his strength. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps, walk the path he once walked, and somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him. That is my sole focus and purpose.
I'll let you in on a little secret. The real Surology is terrifying. The scope of his power is impossible to understand until you experience it firsthand. It is absolute. The power to crush all things. Shall we keep going? Let's see. We're about halfway there. We've made it quite a ways already. This is Skirk, when she first began training under Surology.
I have set your broken wrist. Tomorrow, you're to train twice as hard. No tears this time. Good. Attempting to garner sympathy through tears is a habit of the weak. A pitiful, useless ploy.
Can I ask a question, Master? Why did you save me? I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
I saved you because I have a plan for you. It has been too long since I fought a battle that demanded my full strength, and I hunger for it. Every so-called genius and prodigy I have faced has crumbled like sand underfoot. Before me, even fate bends the knee. So, I will teach you everything I know, train you by whatever means necessary, in the hope that one day, you might surprise me.
But I don't want to draw my sword against you, Master.
What you want matters little. Among the boundless sea of stars, the cries of the weak are but faint murmurs that disappear into the void. You of all people know that well.
Yes, Master.
From that day forward, all she knew was grueling training, emptiness, and fatigue. After some time, her talent bloomed, and she gained control over her emotions, like her master. How should I put it? It was not that human emotion disappeared from her heart, but that reason came to dictate all she was allowed to feel. I suppose it was at this point that she became the Skirk you know today. We're nearly there. I almost don't want to reach the end. Well, shall we? This is the final stretch. These are Skirk's happiest memories. What a simple and carefree time it was. Wisps of clouds dotted the sky, The sun bathed everything in golden light, and when song filled the air, not even the shyest of flowers could resist swaying along. This is Skirk's homeland. She was so curious about everything as a child, always skipping school to go exploring instead. There was so much to discover. The treasures at the bottom of the sea, the secrets beyond the stars, and that merchant ship packed with adults wearing those strange clothes. Yes, the ship. That was the beginning of the end. It was a spaceship. When it arrived, the people that disembarked wore smiles on their faces and spoke of friendship. They claimed to be merchants from a neighboring planet, looking to establish trade. Skirk's parents, her relatives, her neighbors, everyone welcomed the newcomers with open arms and allowed them to explore the planet. To them, the visitors were guests and should be treated with hospitality. No one had any idea of what was to come. Several months later, an army of unknown origin arrived without warning and carried out a ruthless campaign to destroy everything and everyone on the planet. Skirk had skipped school that day, like so many times before, so she was not caught in the immediate wave of destruction. But when she came home that day, only fire and ruin awaited her. Countless people cried out to her for help. People she knew and loved. Friends and relatives. The little girl who lived next door. The shop owner with the bad leg. The bad-tempered teacher she had made fun of just that morning. Their lives were discarded like worthless trash as the fire consumed one life after another. Skirk was helpless. All she could do was run. And so she did. She kept running until an unexpected figure crossed her path. If Sertology hadn't been there in that moment, the fire would have claimed her life too. And there she would have remained, left to rot in the scorched earth, with no answer as to why any of this was happening. Because she and her people were seen as a threat. As the initial merchant ship explored the planet, they discovered that it hadn't always had the condition to support life. Yet there was evidence of human activity, even during the periods of extreme heat or cold in the past. Further research revealed that, over time, the people of this planet had evolved the ability to adapt to any type of environment or energy source. For that reason, the outsiders viewed them as a potential threat, and decided to eliminate them before the threat could rear its head. And so, the army was called, and the so-called danger was wiped from the face of the planet. Senseless, isn't it? Deemed a threat because of a gift they didn't even know they had. Perhaps it was their own innocence and kindness that doomed them. But in the end, that was lost to the blaze as well. If those with power get to decide good and evil, then all you can trust in is the sword in your hand. And so, before death could claim her, she ran. She ran and never stopped. No one wants to relive their most painful moments. Well, that brings us to the end of the story. This is as far as we can go. Skirk is waiting over there. For both of us. Let's go to her. It's time to fulfill my purpose. And my greatest wish over all these years.
So all this, just so you could bring her here?
I have things to say to you. Well, to me. I want someone to witness our reconciliation, even if it takes an argument to get there. And she is the best choice in this moment. Her suppressed emotional self. The version of herself she keeps locked in the recesses of her mind, stifled by reason. All those rejected impulses, those discarded aspects of your past selves, they are a part of me now. I am who you used to be. Someone you have refused to face for too long. So, I came to face you instead.
You're wrong. I've faced you all along. And that's exactly why I keep you locked here. Your existence makes me weak. Moments of joy and longing are when we are most vulnerable. Don't forget, it was a penchant for goodness over reason that doomed our homeland in the first place. The vastness of the universe renders everything insignificant. Our feelings most of all.
Even so, learning from the mistakes of the past doesn't have to mean erasing everything. Strip yourself of your so-called weaknesses, emotions like kindness and empathy, and what makes you any different from the ruthless soldiers who slaughtered our people?
The difference is that I'm doing what is right, what is necessary. I allow you to exist, but with limited freedom. That is the greatest kindness I can offer. I've shouldered everything you couldn't carry. I rose above the numbness and emptiness, and it was cold, unfeeling reason that brought me this far. It made me who I am. It made me strong.
That is the problem. I want to shoulder those things together. On the grand scale of the entire universe, maybe our feelings are vanishingly small, but why should that mean they don't matter? Emotion gives warmth to the cold expanse of space. It gives meaning to the world around us. Think back to those nights of gazing at the stars, those afternoons of exploring the unknown. Think back, and let them grant you peace. A brief respite from the pressure you put on yourself.
That isn't what we need.
It's exactly what we need. Aren't you curious about why recovering your strength has taken longer than normal this time?
Finally, you get to the important part. That is the only answer I came here to find.
Then look around. Look at your inner world. You cast aside your dreams and curiosity, and in doing so, you lost your original motivation. You severed all connection to who you used to be, so you can no longer draw strength from your past. Now, the only things driving you forward are fear and survivor's guilt. But these cannot take you far enough. And so, this river, the source of your strength, grows more polluted by the day.
And do you think that means I should seek help from a weak little thing like you?
Thank you for saying that. I knew bringing you here would be the right choice. To be honest, I'm not here to argue with you. This isn't about who's right or wrong. And in fact, I agree that in order to make it through the wake of that tragedy, we had to distance ourselves from the pain through reason over emotion. But what is right at one point in time isn't always right forever. I know you will never forget that fire. I know the fact that you were the sole survivor fills you with guilt. And I know that among the voices that haunt you, mine is there too. Because deep down, you know that you didn't turn out to be the person you wanted to be. All those unfulfilled hopes are like knives to the heart. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So even if you can't accept me, I hope, at least, that you can let go.
I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
Your dad and I, we're not afraid to stare death in the face, but we need you to survive.
I'm sick of being a kid. There's so many amazing things out there, and I'm ready to see them all.
I remember. There was a song Mom and Dad always sang when we went out to fetch water. Dancing water. The sand along your path is begging for your song and movement. Will you carry this burden with you on your journey? I am not the dancing water, and you are not the burdensome sand. But if this is your wish, then I will carry you with me until the end.
Thank you.
I should be thanking you.
Run, Skirk, run! Remember, leave no one alive!
Heed my words, Skirk. Let fear take root in your soul.
Did you survive? Why was it only you?
Skirk, did you become a positive light in this world?
Hey, this doesn't have to be the end. Life is a gift. Don't let darkness claim it.
So, you saw my memories then. I once asked my master if survival of the strongest was the law of the universe. He said no, but in a world without order, those with no moral boundaries tend to be the ones who survive. That's why, after hearing his answer, an idea came to mind. An idea that, one day, I would create a new world order. One in which there would never be another tragedy like that fire. One in which power was not the law of the land. But that means I must defeat him. Because my master, Surtologhi, is, at the core, a defier of all rules and order. Yes, and not just because of the gap in our abilities, but also because I have no reason to see him as an enemy. Although his decision to train me was not made out of kindness, he did everything a master should. He saved my life, taught me the sword and the principles of strength. And for that, I respect him. I know, and it's not something I want. But Master never goes back on his word. I have to treat everything he says as a promise. He's no longer into that, but he sends me messages through the abyss every now and then. Most of them are simple greetings, or an answer to one of my questions. Every time I hear from him, my heart skips a beat. And I wonder if this is the moment where he'll finally appear before me and tear down everything I've built to pieces. Maybe that means I do live in eternal fear, just like he said. Yes, I respect him, but I'm also afraid of him. And for that reason, the pursuit of strength consumes every moment of my life. I don't know what Master has planned, but I have to be ready. Help me? Why? This isn't your fight.
Oh, you're finally awake! Honestly, Paimon was gone for like 2 seconds and then she comes back and finds you both unconscious? Oh, you scared Paimon half to death! You're both okay, right?
What does it look like? Only water from the source can cleanse the rot and filth that flows from the past into the future. I taught you to incorporate the experiences from your journey into how you fight. I suppose what happened today will become an inseparable part of who I am.
Okay, so Paimon feels like she's missing some important context. But whatever. Paimon brought back tons of delicious snacks! Let's dig in!
All right. It's about time we finished what we started.
We're gonna deal with this thief for good, right?
This time, I'm not going to tell you to hold back. But having digested even more power in the meantime, he's going to be tougher than before. The good news is, we have no reason to pull our punches this time. So, let's go. Same place as last time.
The fog is gone! Wait, isn't that the form the all-devouring narwhal changed into? How come he knows that, too? Really? So, you're telling Paimon that giant whale and this guy can both turn into the fowl? How does that work?
It's a subconscious instinct. Any intelligent being who longs for his level of strength is bound to mimic his appearance. It's a natural response after encountering someone as powerful as Master. To them, he represents ultimate power. We know the person before us has encountered Master, and we know he stole a portion of my power. So it's not surprising that he would assume this form.
Okay. Oh, the closer Paimon looks, the more intimidating it gets. Nervalette isn't here this time, so it's up to us. He won't have the nerve to steal again after we're done with him. Let's teach this guy a lesson. Wipe out!
Haven't forgotten your training, I hope. Fearless. Haven't had enough of my power. Well then, let's see how much more of this power you can handle. Well, have you come to your senses?
You saw that my body was at its limit. So, you deliberately channeled your power into me, knowing that it would destroy my shell from within. Such power, such keen battle instincts. So you must be...
Skirk, Sertologi's disciple.
How long has it been? How long has he been away from Tevat?
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds? Sorry. It's a lot to take in. I should introduce myself. I am Skofnungar, a friend of your master and one of his followers. This is the first time I've heard your name, Skirk. But hundreds of years ago, I knew you existed. And I knew you would come here.
Hundreds of years ago?
Sounds like you and Master have quite the history. Care to tell us about it?
Of course. Might as well take advantage of a clear head while I can. The story starts a long, long time ago. I was born into a noble family in Conria. As the eldest son, I was set to inherit our title. But I contracted an incurable illness as a child, and everyone gave up on me. I trained the sword harder than anyone else, defeated all of my peers. But it was all in vain. When other people looked at me, all I saw in their eyes was pity or a strange glee in my misfortune. Even my parents were just waiting for me to die. Over time, my heart hardened, and I became aimless. That was the point where I met your master, Sertologi. We were similar in age, but different in background. He was born in prison, the son of criminals who had been sentenced to death. He spent his childhood wandering the streets, facing more criticism than the literary works in the Universitas Magistrorum. Yet, he always wore a smile on his face, as if kindness and malice were one and the same, and he could not see the difference. I still remember what he said to me when we first met. You need to fight to survive. Even if it's a losing battle, it should light a fire under you. How can you sit back like this and go down without a fight?
That does sound like something he would say.
He was the first to acknowledge that I was worth something, and he inspired me to keep going. When we sparred together, it was the first time I'd actually felt the thrill of combat. When I was 10, he stole forbidden research materials and managed to cure my illness. It was like there was nothing in this world he couldn't accomplish. When it came to the human form, he was always intent on pushing the boundaries of possibility. But somewhere along the way, I fell behind. My talents were nothing compared to his, and at some point, I realized he had pulled so far ahead, I was too embarrassed to even ask him to spar. After his grand endeavor was successful, he sought me out and said to me,
"This planet no longer holds anything of interest to me, so I'm leaving. But first, I have an offer. I can use a power I have just refined to break the curse of immortality for you. Your death was once what we worked so hard to prevent. But the immortality you now face is a different kind of pain altogether."
I'll pass. Immortality doesn't sound so bad to me. Since I can't die, it means I have an infinite amount of time to get stronger. Maybe I'll finally catch up to you one day, and we can spar like we used to.
Are you sure? I cannot say when I will return. Your body, or rather, your soul, might not be able to withstand this curse.
All I can do is try. After all, a wise man once told me, people need to fight for their own survival.
Wise indeed. Nevertheless, if you grow weary of the pain of immortality, and wish to experience a good sparring match before you wither away, seek out my disciple.
Disciple? Never thought I'd hear that word coming from you.
Nor I. But Vedifenir said I was destined to find a disciple out there in the universe, and bring her to Tibet. You know as well as I, Vedifenir's prophecies are never wrong.
Well, now I'm curious about who this disciple of yours will be.
All Vedifenir said was that one day, the stars shall bow in her honor.
Sounds pretty impressive.
Of course. Only the most outstanding people would have the right to become my disciple.
Still self-assured as ever, I see. But you're not wrong.
I'll be leading them. Oh, and if you are serious about getting stronger, I left you a little gift in the primordial sea. As I've said before, walk whatever path you want. Freedom means even the wicked get to make their own choices.
Waiting for me in the primordial sea was the all-devouring narwhal, already beaten into submission by Surtology. In its weakened state, I was able to cut off part of its flesh and sew it into my own heart.
Your heart? That sounds like torture! How did you even survive that?
Because, of course, I bear the curse of immortality.
So, you used the curse to turn yourself into a vessel for power. Even with that whale's ability, devouring power like that is not something the human body can withstand. With your body and soul constantly at the breaking point, it was the curse of immortality that sustained you. But that is not the path to strength. You have to pour your heart into it, work for it, dream of it. Instead, you stole something that didn't belong to you, and it backfired.
You're right. I should have known better, but I had already pushed myself to my limits, and he was still miles ahead of me. So I had to take a leap of faith. I miss your master. I miss the days when we were all together, troublemakers without a home. I don't regret the choice I made. But if you'll allow it, I do want to apologize. To both of you.
After the beating we just gave you, I think we can call it even.
You're an interesting one as well. Surtology's disciple. That's a lot to live up to. It can't have been an easy experience. I know what he's like. He rules with an iron fist, using despair and fear to force you to catch up to him, all the while standing ever out of reach. We're like mountain climbers in the dark, never knowing how much higher we have to climb, or when we will see the sun again.
True. But I made up my mind long ago. No matter how dark it gets, I will not give in to despair. I will overcome it. Besides, after hearing your story, I suspect what Master really wants is not a battle that demands his full strength, but rather a defeat without regrets.
Oh?
Since you're his friend, you must have some things in common. The first time we came here, When you stabbed me through the fog and stole my power, I felt no emotion coming from that spike. But when you had to devote all your strength fighting me just now, I could feel joy and passion emanating from your blade. It was the joy of a researcher discovering the truth of the world, the joy of an artist uncovering a temple of wonders.
Interesting. I'm certain I didn't express those emotions outright, yet you were able to read them from my blade, like a glimpse into my inner world. You're right. That battle brought me an unbridled sense of joy, and my defeat brings me no regret whatsoever.
Exactly. I think Master also craves a battle like that. One where his opponent forces him to use all his strength, unlock the extent of his potential, and transcend his own limits. A battle to end all battles. After which, all can come to an end, including, perhaps, his life. For that very reason, good and evil are meaningless to him. He has one purpose, one goal: to complete himself. It's one of the secrets to his strength.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps that is his goal. What a battle that would be. Oh, to witness such a...
Are you okay?
Too many different kinds of power are surging through my body. The curse of immortality allows it all to coexist, but it does not remove the pain. I won't be able to hold on to my sanity for much longer. What a shame. I would have loved to witness that battle. Sertologi once offered to free me from this curse. Now, I must ask that of you, Skirk. Can you release me from the pain?
I can, but not through death, if that's what you were hoping for. It's not a suitable punishment for your crime. As an alternative, I can take your consciousness, along with all the power you've consumed, and smash it to pieces. The impurities will dissipate, and under the curse of immortality, your mind and body will regenerate. When that process is complete, you will be back to who you were before, no longer tortured by powers you can't control. But it will be a time-consuming and painful process. The decision is yours to make.
I accept. And who knows? Perhaps I'll wake up in time to witness your great battle with Sertologi. I have faith that you'll be able to stand against him one day. Though I know it'll be a long and arduous road. If we are climbers in the dark, it appears the dawn has finally broken for me. But your ascent continues. At least, it looks like you are not alone on your journey.
I will reach the top of this mountain, no matter what it takes. And you, Skofnungur, will be my witness at the end of all things.
That's finally over. Let's get out of here. Huh. At least we don't have to make a mad dash for the exit like last time. It's only been a few days, but it feels like forever. Once again, we've proved there's nothing we can't overcome. We're just that awesome. Wow, you sound even more confident than usual. Guess you really have become stronger. Today sure went by fast. It's night already. Oh wait, that reminds Paimon. The stars you mentioned, the ones that died out, are they back now?
Yes. The power Skafnungur stole has been returned. So, the stars have regained their light.
Great! Huh, it's crazy that you even noticed their light was gone. There are so many stars in the sky. If a few disappeared, Paimon definitely wouldn't be able to tell.
I suppose it's because I have gazed upon this sky for centuries. The false stars, hanging in the meticulously planned sky, glittering with rotten light. It's not real. And yet, it is for that very reason that I can look upon it and enjoy the momentary peace it brings. Even the most beautiful of bubbles has to burst. We will return to the real universe one day, whether of our own volition or not. Time marches ever forward. Even the innocent and naive will taste life's bitterness. Yet through hardship, we grow until we learn to seize the sands of time for ourselves and uncover our true strength. Though we gaze upon a false sky, its vastness and majesty is palpable. One can only wonder, what is it going to take for kindness to reign supreme in the vast expanse of the universe?
Ugh, this is all going over Paimon's head. But if she knows one thing, it's that the traveler always finds a way. Ever since we met, she has filled Paimon's days with happiness. No matter how tough things get, she always finds a way to make it better. If it's too big a job for one person, then they'll do it with two. And if two's still not enough, then three. We've met so many amazing friends and accomplished so many amazing things. As long as we don't give up, we can make any wish come true.
I suppose when it comes to you, anything is possible. Well, I should be going. Now that my power is no longer isolated from my emotions, I need more practice to get used to it. I suppose fate will decide. Maybe we'll bump into each other on the street. Or maybe we'll reunite on a different planet entirely. Regardless, reunions and partings are but passing moments. More than anything, I hope that, at the end of this journey, wherever it takes us, we stand in a world reborn. One without war, pain, or forced partings. One where new life can bloom, even where there was once nothing but scorched earth. For this, we must all work to become stronger. Goodbye, traveler. Remember your training. Make sure to put it to use.
Bye! Is it just Paimon, or is she being nicer than before? We definitely count as friends after all that, don't you think? Hey, what do you think about camping here tonight? There's nothing quite like sleeping under the stars. Come tomorrow, we can continue our journey. Oh, and since Paimon treated you to that super nice meal at Wanmin Restaurant, it's about time you returned the favor.